There we go. That's better.
Yay!
Thought I hit the unmute button, but apparently I did not. All right.
Oh well.
Hello, my friends, and welcome. We are going to be doing a bunch of these kind of pre-recorded interim games, kind of talking about what the different characters are up to in Saul's Rest for about 6 months or so in between where they last ran or where they last killed the big scary dragon, and to where we're going to pick up the game. So each of them has kind of a little side mission or side quest they've been interested in following through, and it didn't make sense to get everybody at the table, virtual table,
Involved.
involved to basically just sit and do nothing. So it was hit that we would do something along these lines, and it seems to make the most sense to do it this way. So we're gonna do it this way.
Yay!
So, this particular episode is going to focus solely on Malin's character.
Me.
And so we are going to launch right into that. So, strap in.
It's gonna be awesome. A lot of dick punching. Let's do it.
It's going to be a thing. So, following the events of the fall of the Shadow Dragon, things go relatively quick, move relatively quickly. There's a lot of reparations to be done. There's a lot of rebuilding that needs to be done. There's a lot of political bull smurf that Malin doesn't really care too much about. Um, she's really more of a we'll say physical being. Um, but and before you know it, a month just is gone.
I'm busy.
You're busy. You're helping
And I'm
out.
bored.
Well, probably not, honestly. Saul takes over as the general of the army, but also because of his some of his background, also kind of takes on a lot of the restoration of the city. Um, so if you're bored and looking for something to do, he puts you to work.
Yeah, and I would totally. The politics thing is, yeah, that's not me. So
Right.
if he needs skulls cracked, I'm happy to go crack skulls.
It's less that and more here. Move this giant girder
I could do that.
and put it in place and hold it while these guys hammer it into place. It's really more stuff like that. There's a little bit of chasing down of um, some of the stragglers from the army
Yeah, screw those guys.
that had occupied. But it seems that the individual known as Whiskey Jack has taken up residence in Winterhold and is performing their duties as kind of a vigilante by night. So a lot of the stuff is taken care of, if you
All
will.
right, that's hey,
Um,
good.
so yeah, um, the brain fart. The so the month goes by relatively quickly. You kind of don't even like. It's one of those things where it's like, oh crap, have we been doing this a month? Holy shit! Like,
Yeah.
and that's just when things start to slow down. Other major things that you would be aware of that kind of happened more in the political arena is that the Kira's mothers
Mhm.
had taken some nominal control over the government of the city, and one of the first things they did was lift the ban on elves
Nice.
being allowed into the city. This has caused some controversy, but beyond that, you think the controversy is stupid, so you stay out of it.
Yeah, what's wrong with elves? Shut up.
Two of your very good friends are of the elven blood, so
That's right. And if they have a problem with it,
they could take it up with you.
they can take it up with me and it'll be dick punch o'clock.
Exactly. So I just realized. So anyway, after a month or so is when the dwarves show up.
Hey, it's the dwarves. It's
Um,
been a day, guys.
and they are ready to help kick some ass, and then they realize that the ass has been kicked.
Sorry, I didn't save any for you.
They immediately volunteer to help with restoration of the city and to kind of bolster the ranks of the army, which was pretty badly wrecked by the invading forces. So, yeah, so they're all. They volunteer their services, so they're sticking around for quite some time, or they're planning on sticking around for a while to
Cool. I
help
just
out
sort
with
of
the
hand them
restorations.
over. I hand them over to Kira's moms and go, "Look, I brought you craftsmen and people. Go forth and do the things."
And they do, and they do. After another week or so, however, the Brad Pitt of dwarves.
What is his name?
His name is Merrick, but you just refer to him as the Brad Pitt
As
of
the
dwarves,
Brad Pitt of
apparently.
dwarves. Yeah.
Um,
Okay. That's good to know his name.
yes, he is Merrick of the Stone, as his religion is the Stone,
That's fair.
and he is a paladin of the Stone. Anyway,
Makes sense.
so he shows up and offers his assistance, but at one point he does go to you, um, and he informs you that he had, with a contingent of his followers and men, gone into the mines to free the rest of the Goliaths, and a fair number of your people actually did survive.
Oh, good. Good,
Um,
good, good.
Not the several hundred that it had been, but he'd say fully a third were still alive.
It's better than nothing.
Well, and like this is just part of the reason why the dragons were taking the Goliath people specifically is because they're tough. They can survive a lot.
Yeah.
Um, your mother was not among their number, however,
Okay.
and he comes bearing a tale. He says, "The the miners told of several attacks from some ancient dark creature within the mines that had stirred, as they were delving in places that the dwarves never dared to delve. And your mother stood against it and fought it.
Sounds about right.
And by all accounts, she survived. However, she was afflicted by some terrible disease.
Okay.
The accounts vary as to what exactly happened next, but she seemed to be seized with some sort of fit and fled in the dead of night. Nobody knows exactly where she went, but specifically where she went, but they know she headed south.
Okay.
I know of a few passages that she could have possibly gone through that things that people would not, or individuals would not have gone through. Their trail would still be fresh, but I thought maybe you would want to pursue that.
Absolutely. If they can spare me here.
So you go and you kind of check it out and feel it out with Saul and everything like that. And yeah, I mean, they need you. They like you around because you're another very strong pair of hands. But if and Saul is Saul. He's just like, if it's your mom, then go. Like, I'm not gonna stop you.
Yeah, I need to go. This is not my forte.
You just kind of, you've been doing just fine, but it's your mom, so I understand.
If she's alive, I need to find her, especially if she's sick.
He nods, and he kind of, at
And
first
I know her. She would have if she thought she was going to be any danger to any of the people left, she would go and find a corner and hide in it and just prepare to die.
that's unfortunate. Well, hopefully you can find her. And at first he kind of gives you like the kind of manly like shoulder squeeze, but then he pulls you into a hug.
I totally hug him. I'll see if I can pick him up.
What's your strength?
Oh wait, we've still got it jacked up. So
For the last fight.
yes, it's still at a 25. That's not correct.
Let me
don't remember what it was.
Hang on, I got this.
Okay.
I think I got this. Maybe I got this.
I think it was like maybe an 18. I don't think I'd hit 20 yet.
Hang on, working on it.
It,
Do 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 do. Where are you? There you are. Edit. Nope, that's not what I wanted.
do 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 do.
You just got a lot louder, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right.
I was singing the girl from Ipanema.
I know. Maybe that's why. All right, now we gotta edit your score. How the frick do we do that? I don't remember.
I mean, I'm in there. I can do it. There's a little. I mean, I can go to the builder if you need me to.
No, I know there's a way to do it without going to the builder, like, because that's how we did it in the first place. I just, for the life of me, don't remember what that is.
No, I don't know. That's not important. I'll just remember.
No, you were at 20.
Okay, was I?
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead and roll that with a +5. D20 plus 5.
I rolled a natural 20.
You are able to bear hug him off the ground.
Yeah.
He kind of, I don't get picked up much. He's not, I mean, he's amused. He's not disturbed or frustrated or anything like that. But he's just kind of like, oh, okay, that was different.
His spine cracks.
Yeah. Oh, that's been bugging me for weeks.
This is horrible.
Just like 6 cracks in a row. Okay, there we go. I got it that time. All right. So, you take your leave of Saul and gather your somewhat meager belongings, and you begin the long trek back to the Thruffell Mountains.
Okay. Is
Um,
it just me and Merrick, or is it
it's just you and Merrick.
okay?
Um, Now the trip is reasonably uneventful. There's a few kind of random encounters that you have, but I mean, you guys are high enough level at this point that it's kind of not worth doing.
Yeah.
So you have a couple of encounters on the way. They're nothing special or noteworthy. Um, but you eventually arrive in the Thrufells, and eventually you do go back to that very same mine that you had fought the very old, very ancient red dragon. And he leads you actually down through the admin offices into the mines. He kind of takes you a direct route, and he does inform you that you are the first non-dwarf to venture down here, other than the invaders. You were the first non-dwarf to be welcomed down here.
Yes, to come down without, with permission.
For time immemorium. Um,
Cool.
but he's also been informed that he has to kind of keep it as minimal exposure as possible.
It's fine. I won't remember.
So he kind of takes you on a very winding, circuitous route.
I love that he thinks I'm going to remember how to get there.
He's probably following orders.
Well, I love that they think I'm going to remember. That's very sweet.
I mean, you are the power. You are the nominal leader of what once was a very powerful Goliath clan. They're assuming a lot.
They are assuming a lot. Okay.
So you find your way, and eventually he slows down his pace and kind of says, "Well, this is where your people told us the fight occurred. Uh, the body of the creature was destroyed for fear that it would spread further disease.
What was it? Does anybody? I mean, what did it look like? Can anyone?
Nobody was able to tell me. There's not a consistent story.
Okay.
There was teeth, there was claws, there was fur, but that could be any number of things down here.
Are there any clues around the area? Like, I mean, obviously there's going to be signs of a struggle, but
If you want to make a survival check, you can go ahead and do that.
yes, I would please.
And he will actually aid you,
Oh, so that's advantage.
so that'll give you advantage. He is not a tracker,
Ah!
however, so he's not great at it.
Yeah, neither am I. So, survival. That's stealth. That's not what I'm looking at. Oh, okay. 17.
Not bad. Um, you search around, and yeah, I mean, there's obvious signs of a struggle. There's clearly like there's some old blood spatters as this happened like 2 months ago or more. There's some old blood spatters. Goliath blood tends to be a lot darker
Okay.
than like human or elven or whatever blood. So there's a distinctive like the very dark, almost like deep maroon dried blood pattern that you're pretty sure is from your mom, or honestly some other poor Goliath that got cut here,
8.
got eaten. But there's a much lighter, more rust-colored uh, blood spatter pattern as well, which seems to be not of a Goliath. And as you're kind of searching around a bit, you do see there's little tufts of fur kind of jutting out of from rocks and whatnot. And eventually you do find what looks like a very large uh, print, or a very large partial print in an area where the stone that they were fighting on kind of gave way to something more like mud, um, and then eventually just hardened. Um, and you realize that it was probably like it was dirt and it was muddy because it was mixing with the blood,
Ew.
and then it solidified again.
Tried.
But it's a partial print. Go ahead and make a nature check, please. And you're both looking at it, so roll with advantage.
Okay. Oh, I like that better. God, advantage rocks.
It really does.
Because I rolled a 2 on my first one. And I rolled an 18 on the second one. So it's 22. I'm killing it.
You're doing well. Um, you would guess it's maybe a dire wolf,
Oh crap. Did my mom become a freaking werewolf? God damn it.
but
But not sure.
but you're not sure. Also, and Merrick would kind of corroborate this with you. Dire wolves tend not to live this deep.
Okay.
Like they'll occupy caves and caverns and whatnot, but they tend not to live this deep underground.
All right, I'm going to like take a tuft of the fur, take a little sample of the blood and save it.
Okay.
Because if I find her, I can take it to my more knowledgeable druidy friends or healer friends, and maybe they can help figure out what this is and help heal her.
Okay. The So as you kind of wrap up your investigations of the area, Merrick offers to take you to where he thinks one of the basically two passageways that she could have taken to escape.
Okay.
Um, so I want you to tell me odd or even.
Odd.
Odd is good for you.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So you travel to another cavern that, like, as you get closer, you spent enough time underground at this point that you realize the air is stirring a little bit. It's a little bit fresher, so you could definitely feel like this probably at some point will lead to the surface. And you get there, but almost immediately you need to make another survival check because I'm crazy. Still at advantage.
Oh, I rolled 2 11s.
You are destined for that 11.
All right, so it's a +4 for a 15.
Okay. Almost immediately, as you're scanning the area, you see that this passageway has not been traversed in probably years.
Okay. So
So,
lots of cobwebs, dust.
yes, it is unlikely that she passed this way.
Okay. So it sounds like we need to do some backtracking.
So, you guys go back and you start heading to the other passageway that he knew of. So, as he's getting closer, as you're starting to get closer, go ahead and make that survival check.
Advantage again?
Yep.
Oh! A 1 and a 7. So it's an 11.
Um, at first, kind of the further you go, you're starting to think that maybe she didn't come this way, which
Doesn't make any sense.
kind of like basically Merrick seems to. It's like they said she fled south. These are the only two passages she could have gone. And you're just about at the point where you're kind of like, okay, well, fuck it. Maybe we'll have to find. Maybe there's a secret passage, or there's a way that you don't know, or something like that. And you are trying to figure out a way to mention this without insulting his dwarven pride.
Yes.
When you see a very dark blood stain, kind of partially hidden on the kind of far side of one of the stalagmites.
Okay. Go check it out.
It
It's
appears
bloodstain.
it's a bloodstain. It appears to be a Goliath bloodstain.
Okay. We are. Looks like we're going in the right direction.
He kind of nods like, yeah, duh. Um,
I just kind of give him a kiss on the forehead and go, and like I had any doubts.
so now that you have an actual path to track, go ahead and re-roll.
17.
That is much better.
It is much better.
So you follow what is a series of bloodstains at first. Eventually, as the ground gives way to dirt instead of stone, you have actual feet to track, and it looks like the person that came this way, likely your mother, was injured. Duh, because bloodstains. But also kind of the way they were moving. You have a sneaking suspicion there's a wound somewhere on her right side that
Okay.
is actively bleeding and is keeping her from walking with a steady pace. Eventually, you get to, and when I say eventually, several hours later,
Sure.
you arrive at what appears to be a small opening. And small is relative. Like it's maybe 3 feet across.
So you could
Um,
wiggle out,
you
but
could,
not
yeah,
easily.
you could wiggle out. It is not like as you kind of pull yourselves out. Uh, it is not an obvious entryway.
Okay.
And as you kind of look up, you can see you are kind of in the lower, like on the lee side of one of the mountains. You're well below the tree line, and you are kind of surrounded by these spruces, pretty much in all directions. And as you look up, it's just starting to get to be dusk, and the sun is starting to set. Now, it was said that she had left kind of in the dead of night, so she would have emerged in the night, more than
Okay.
likely.
My money's on lycanthropy. God damn it. I'll even say that to him. Is that a thing?
I mean, there's
I
been
mean,
there's been legends, but I've never run into one myself.
okay. Well, maybe I've heard too many legends because this is what this sounds like to me. Great. Okay, so can we pick up any sort of a trail from the opening that we squeezed through?
Go ahead and make one more roll.
Again with advantage?
Yes.
Love me advantage. 18.
You travel south following the path. You eventually, like once you're out of the hole, you lose any semblance of actual tracks. You are now following blood. Um,
Okay, I'm putting that aside for a moment.
Unfortunately, you can't because that is what you are following.
Well, no, I mean I'm putting the panic of that aside for a moment and just
Gotcha.
trying to be pragmatic of, hey, look, a trail. I'm not going to think about what it is and what it means.
Um, and you guys move for another probably 2 or 3 hours. Well, probably more like 5 hours, bearing in mind that you're moving rather slowly, as you're like having to stop every so often and just kind of follow where the next blood spatter is. Um, when eventually you get to kind of you're starting to get edge up towards some very sheer cliffs, and you're
Okay.
thinking, there's no way she could climb in her condition. Like I don't, you're not really sure. But as you get closer to these cliffs, you see that there is actually a crag tunnel, sort of, and
Hmm.
like on the other side, you can see daylight. Like it actually just seems to kind of go through. It's maybe 10 feet wide by about 10 feet tall. Large enough that you could easily pass through it, but not so large that from a distance you wouldn't see it, or
Okay.
you would see it. And the trail seems to lead in there.
This seems real bad, but let's go.
Okay.
I don't like narrow tunnels. Bad things happen in narrow tunnels.
Yeah, and as if in anticipation of bad things happening in a narrow tunnel, you see Merrick pulls out his battle axe.
Yeah, that's a good plan. I like that plan right there.
Pulls out his battle axe and shield,
I'm gonna arm up as well.
and you guys creep in. As you go in, um, you were getting a little bit of wind kind of coming off of the mountain, and as you step through, the wind seems to pass by the opening with a howl. Um, and so as you pass into it, like you can really hear this. Like it had been kind of a low whistle, or not even a whistle, low like hum almost outside of it, but once you're in it, it's almost deafening. Um, Go ahead and make your survival check. This time, even though he is helping, it'll be just a straight roll.
Okay. And it's survival.
Yes.
17.
Okay. Um, Despite the distraction of the rather deafening wind howling through the cave, uh, you are able to focus in and find just a few drops of blood here and there, um, indicating that this is indeed
Where
where
we
she,
need to be.
where she went. You come out the other side unscathed.
Wow.
It wasn't super long. The tunnel itself was probably only about 30 feet long.
I was not ready for that.
Um, and you come out into this very gorgeous, uh, rather almost like bucolic scene. There's tall pine trees, the wind kind of blowing out here, the sound kind of mutes a little bit as you step out. It's still kind of it's more like a whistle now than an actual like howling. Um, you see there are just flowers and foliage all about. You see there is a stream not terribly far away, and there is a small, looks like probably an animal path,
Okay.
um, leading from the tunnel further back.
Okay.
You don't see any sign of blood at this point.
Okay. Well, like she could have. Is there any? Hmm. Is there any kind of like? Do I see any indications of like more path? More. And there's no more blood, but is there like bent grass? A path to the
There's
stream?
like a deer path.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna follow the deer path.
Okay. So you follow the deer path and you kind of come out into what you're surmising is the center of this large, almost like a courtyard.
Okay.
Courtyard indicates that there may be some kind of civilization. It's not that. It's literally like a naturally formed. I love how my blur effect is being weird. Um, sometimes you can see Laura and sometimes you can't. It's hilarious. Um, but you see this. You see this. It's just this kind of natural clearing, and you look up and you realize that there are mountains kind of surrounding all sides of you.
Okay.
Um, it's a very kind of small but naturally protected region, and you see at the center of this creek ends in a large pool,
Hmm.
um, and hunkered next to the pool, you see a large humanoid form.
Okay. Am I close enough to see like features, like recognize?
You can go ahead and make a perception check,
Okay. Where'd my thing go?
and this is just a straight roll.
Okay. Perception. 13.
You can't recognize specific features, like their face is covered and what have you, and they're fairly filthy and matted and dirty. And as you're kind of glancing about, you're realizing that they've probably been here for a while. Like you see several, kind of off to one side, you see several animal carcasses and what looks like the kind of nominal attempts at some kind of shelter.
Okay.
Uh, but despite having potentially, if this is your mom, having been here for 2 months, they haven't gotten very far.
Size wise, is it a human size, Goliath size?
You can tell it's a Goliath from where you're standing.
Okay. Um, Still with weapons handy,
Mm-hmm.
approach kind of cautiously.
As you approach, suddenly you see the head kind of jerk up, and you see the nostrils flaring. It's your mom, but she's not looking
Normal.
like herself right at this second.
Mom? Mom! Mom, it's Malin.
And just I'm showing a picture of your mother to the masses,
Okay.
but
She's not.
so she looks up, and you start calling for her, and you see after a second she blinks her eyes a couple of times, and her vision clears, and she stands. Malin,
Mama, it's me. What happened to you?
you can't be here.
But I am.
But you shouldn't be here.
Why?
It's not safe. It's gonna come back.
I came to help you.
You you can't.
Yes, I can. What's the matter?
I don't. And then she kind of like, almost like she's gonna throw up. Just kind of. She's like, oh, it's coming back. And after a second, you see her form start to kind of ripple. And you see her struggling, and it looks painful. And sure enough, you see there's as she's rippling, and as the flesh is rippling, you see what had been a probably a closed or a recently closed wound start to rip open again as her form starts to shift.
The
Um,
hell?
but you see her kind of fight it down. She's like,
What
eh,
is that?
that is the monster that I have become, and I can't control it.
Mama, I'm gonna save you. I can't leave you here like this.
How?
I don't know.
And you see it like her body just kind of racks again, and she drops once again to kind of her knees, and it has me.
What is it?
I don't know.
Fuck. Fuck, fuckity, fuck, fuck, fuckity, fuck, 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 fuck.
You see Merrick kind of has a weird look on his face.
The hell is that, Merrick?
Uh, I mean, it looks like lycanthropy, but it's definitely not of any sort that I've ever heard of. There's your mom kind of roars in pain, and he kind of pauses a second. There's a ritual taught by the elders of the stone that can give those afflicted with lycanthropy some measure of control. And it was taught to me. I never thought I would need to use it.
Well, it's worth a shot. I, I'm asking you, please.
He kind of just nods, and you see him kind of, he's got the holy symbol pretty obviously displayed, but he actually takes the battle axe, flips it upside down, um, grabs the top of it. You see him mutter a couple of small incantations, and then he approaches your mom. This is where we're going to roll initiative.
All right. Damn it. Even with fucking advantage, I rolled a 5 and a 6.
Total of?
I'm sorry?
What was your total?
8.
Okay. That's the correct one. And then Merrick does not have advantage. Got a 12.
Sure, my mom gets like a 47 or something.
Valthea. We'll get a... Oh, I should do this. Not 47, but it was high. Okay, so... So your mother looks up at him, and I need you to roll a d10 for me.
A D10?
Yes.
Oh, crap. Bounce that out of the tray. 7.
You see she lets out a you see her eyes are kind of glazed over again with the pain and everything that's whatever it is that's inside of her. She roars and she lunges at Merrick. She is not currently armed, however. She does hit, however. Holy crap.
She's a badass.
She is. And actually, she'll take a full action, so... She'll hit him twice. Oh. Oop.
Oop.
Oop. So she lunges at him, and her fingers are kind of curled into almost claws, but they're still fingers. And she just kind of rakes at his face with one hand and goes to do it with the other, but you see him kind of raise his shield and block the brunt of it against it. Even so, you still hear this very loud thunk as it goes against the shield. He seems, I mean, he's injured, but he seems nonplussed by it.
He just kind of got bitch slapped.
A little bit, yeah.
Fuck that. Mom, you cannot bitch slap my boyfriend. What the hell?
You see, you hear kind of as you say that, You hear him kind of let out a sort of a wild laugh. He goes, "Is that what I am?" And he presses or he goes to press the uh, hilt or the very end, the pommel of not the pommel. Yeah, that was right. The pommel of the battle axe against your mom's forehead. This is technically an attack, for which he rolled a natural 20.
Damn.
So she is going to make. Actually, she is not going to make. Uh, 1 second.
No, you're fine.
She's going to make a wisdom saving throw. And where is it? It's that one. Okay, so do 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 do. I have to look at his. All right. Yeah. So the creature that is your mother, briefly as he presses the pommel against her forehead, you see it kind of sear and sizzle a little bit, and you see very briefly this long snouted face kind of appear in her visage and then snarl and then disappear again. And you hear Merrick go, "Fuck!" It is your turn.
Well, that doesn't sound good. I'm gonna rage.
Okay.
I'm gonna put my shoulder down and
'Kay.
fucking bum rush her away.
All right. Go ahead and make an opposed athletics check.
Kidoke.
She is not raging, so she does not get advantage.
I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
It's a 29.
Yeah, so you slam into her and bowl her over, kind of knocking her to the ground.
Don't do that. This is not the impression I wanted you to make. This is awkward.
That doesn't do anything yet. Oh, that one tries to... Hang on. That one tries to do a thing. So we're going to do that. Alright, so that's that. And then for her... I know it's really exciting me watching me roll things for characters.
It's okay.
It wins. Well, no, never
I don't know
mind.
if that's a
It
good
doesn't.
thing or
It
a
doesn't.
bad
It does.
thing.
It does not win. I forgot to add the appropriate modifier. We'll do this instead. Okay. So yeah, as she's on the ground, you see her struggling, and again, that wound that she had kind of tried to close up is just ripping more and more open. More blood is starting to flow, and she's just kind of clawing at herself. At one point, she almost like bear hugs herself to try to keep herself together. Maybe. It is her turn. Roll me another d10, please.
5.
And she spends the rest of her turn kind of rocking back and forth on the ground, screaming and whimpering and crying and doing her best to keep herself together.
Okay.
You see Merrick on his turn will run over to her again, press the hilt of the battle axe to her forehead yet again. And she is really good at that. Why the fuck is she? Oh, it's not for her though. Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ, he's rolling fucking great. Yeah, and again, more as he presses the thing, and you realize he's not actually using a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's just as it touches her skin, it again kind of, and you see that face kind of snarl and almost snap at him again.
Mhm.
Doesn't like bite him or hit him or anything like that, but you see him kind of jerk his hand back real quick, and he's like, "God damn stubborn bastard, get out of her!" Your turn.
Um, I'm gonna hold her down.
Okay. Once again, we will need opposed athletics checks,
Kidok.
and you have advantage. I will remind you because you're
Oh,
raging.
26.
She botched. So, yeah, you're able to kind of hold her
So
still.
I'm like behind her, so she can't bite me, but like bear hugging. Like you can't move. You're staying still.
You are stern put.
I love
Uh,
you, Mom, but we're not doing this now.
so that makes it this guy's turn. Okay. Yeah, you see her form. She just lets out this high, long, almost inhuman scream that becomes a howl as her form shifts under your from underneath your arms, and she becomes much larger. Go ahead and roll that athletics check again to try to keep hold.
28.
I'm gonna give it. Nope, is unable to do so.
Fuck
It
you, pal.
no, it is unable to. Yeah, so you're able to maintain. So yeah, even as it's growing, and you see her form grows, like starts sprouting hair, the musculature starts to ripple and grow larger, more animalistic. You see the face and snout growing to that of a full blown hybrid werewolf, the wolf woman, so to speak. You manage to keep a hold.
Okay.
Do me a favor, roll that. Oh, no, we don't need to do that right now. Hang on. Because the wolf is now in charge.
Fuck that guy.
And the wolf is going to attack you because you're holding it and it doesn't like you.
Fuck him.
31
Yeah, that hits me.
and a 28.
Those both hit me. I love that you asked. That's just funny.
So go ahead and take 12 points of damage and then an additional, and you're raging, so you can have these. So it's 12 and 12,
That
so
would
you
be
will just take 12
12.
damage. Yeah.
Alright. Why can't I? Oh.
As
Oh,
the,
I don't like the way that works.
as the wolf is now trying to savage you.
Fuck you, pal. Get
Now,
out of my mom.
that makes it Merrick's turn. And he tries it again.
Let's go for it.
This fucking thing would stop. It only has a +1, but it keeps rolling like 18s and 19s.
That sucks.
There we go.
Ah, we like it.
So in a split second, there's this weird kind of morphing sensation under your arms, and you feel a surge as a wolf the size of a building leaps out of your mom.
Die.
And her form kind of deflates like a popped balloon, which feels kind of squidgy and gross.
That's pretty gross.
And you see her kind of crumple to the ground sobbing. And you see the wolf, which is a full 20 feet tall, kind of glaring down at you. And you hear this voice, barely common, entirely not human. I did not appreciate that.
I'll get up. I don't appreciate you possessing my mom.
It is your
Fuck
turn.
you, pal.
It is your turn.
It's my turn?
Yep.
Oh. 2 attacks. Let's do this. Is everything okay?
Yep, everything's fine.
2 attacks. Let's do this.
Do it.
Ah! Oh, I'm reckless attacking, by the way. Fuck this. I'm angry.
All right, fair enough.
Where's my thing? So, 25 for the first one.
That'll hit.
And 28 for the second.
That'll hit. Roll
That was
some.
a 19. Do I crit on a 19 or just a 20?
Just a 20.
Oh, bummer. All right. Do you need cold damage separately?
I do not.
Yes. All right. Let's do this. Oh, my dice are with me. So 18 on the first one.
Okay.
$13 on the second one.
Fabulous. So yeah, as it snarls at you, it's rather frustrated epithet that you're being a thorn in its side.
Yep. Fuck off.
You basically tell it to go to hell, and you let let the Falchion do the talking.
Aim for its dick.
I don't think you can reach.
Oh well.
It's very tall.
Okay, Achilles tendon. We'll do an AT-AT thing on it. Hey guys, do you remember that old movie, Empire Strikes Back?
Let's see here. That was you. It gets to go.
Oh, good. Hooray.
It reaches down to bite you. Arr.
Well, this is gonna go well.
21.
Yeah.
All right. You are going to take 66
Jesus Christ.
points of piercing damage, halved because you're raging, so 33.
Good, good.
And I need you to make a strength saving throw, please.
Okay. What's my thing? 15?
Okay. So yeah, that massive head reaches down to kind of snap at you. It manages to get it gets a piece of you, but you see is it was expecting to kind of grab you and pull you with it, but you managed to kind of keep your feet and keep it from doing so.
Dude, I would have ride that thing right on up and then put the falchion in its eye.
That's definitely not what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Top of the round, your mom. Go ahead and roll a D10, please.
A 6 or a 9? 6.
She continues to quiver on the ground in what seems to be an excessive amount of pain.
Yeah, okay. Well, you shed a 20-foot wolf, it doesn't really help you, you know.
No, not so much.
It kind of fucks up your day.
Merrick is going to join you, and he's going to move in and kind of circle around it so you guys are flanking.
Oh, sweet.
So he is going to roll with advantage.
Yay!
And now you don't have to reckless attack.
Excellent.
So he rolled a 28. He also gets 2 attacks. And a 25. And because he's a paladin, he's going to bonus action. Drop a burning smite. So he's better against undead than he is against living things, but still.
You know, that's okay.
So he's going to do that plus that plus... Seriously?
What? You roll bad damage?
3 dice 6, and 2 of them were 1s.
Oh, I hate that. That's not okay.
Still does a fair amount of damage to it, but yeah.
But still, it's the principle, really.
Right. That would be your turn.
Okay. All right. Well, let's.
So you could roll with advantage without using reckless attack.
Yay. Doesn't matter. He's still gonna hit me. I mean, it's a fucking 20-foot wolf. 24.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled double 11s again. What's that about?
Well, a 24 hits, so...
Well, so with the thing, it's a dirty 20 because I have a +9.
20 will hit as well.
Okay. Ah. Ooh. 5 plus, so 10 on the first one. And 15 on the second one.
Said 10 on the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Right, this isn't roll 20. All right, top of the round, your mom. Please roll a d10.
9.
Um,
Either really good or really bad. I don't know which.
Her head snaps up, her eyes clear. She rages.
Hey. Welcome to the party, pal.
And she reaches out, and you see that her axe had been kind of shed not too far away. She grabs her axe, and she goes to attack the wolf. And she will attack twice. That's a nat 20 or a tear.
Hey, she's pissed. Don't fuck with her.
That's a lot of damage. Technically, she'd have advantage too. Okay, so she rages, snarling, and slams the great axe into the wolf. So she's going to do. That's a lot of damage.
Good.
She kind of leaps up and buries the thing in its chest. It doesn't kill it, but does just a gaping wound opens up in its chest. It is a hurting unit. Merrick is next. He's going to go. He's going to take his 2 attacks with advantage. That's spells. I don't want spells. I want to hit things. First hit. Second hits.
Nice.
All right. And so he swings at its back legs. It's kind of stumbling periodically as it's trying to stand, giving you better access to things that are a little bit more vital, like that giant fucking wound in its chest that your mom opened up.
Nice.
And it's your turn.
I'm in a frenzy, so I get 3 attacks.
Oh, snap.
First one is a 22.
That's going to hit.
Second one is a nat 20.
That's gonna crit.
And the third one is a math. 22.
That'll also hit.
All right.
So roll all your damage together and give me the total, please.
Okie doke. That's gonna make me do more math. Okay. 6 plus what is that? Oh. 8. 16. 6 is 22. 45.
Nice. So, how do you want to do this?
I want to leap up, hit the gaping chest wound, and like, that's for possessing my mom.
All right, so you leap up into the air and you slam the falchion home deep into the chest wound, and then you kind of snarl, "That's for possessing my mom!" And as you twist, it kind of carves, and you see its beating heart. You reach in, you rip it out, and as the thing falls to the ground, you drop to the ground to one knee, and you drop the heart on its head because it's not worth eating.
No, it's really not. It's disgusting. And now I'm really tired, so it's nap time, guys. Because frenzy gives you exhaustion.
Yes,
So
gives you a point of exhaustion.
I'm gonna nap. It's sleepy.
But that is okay, for you have defeated your foe.
It is sleepy time.
It's sleepy I take a nap here. I take a nap right here.
I nap right here.
I take a nap here. All right. So, after you rest, at least enough to be able to talk again, your mom seems to be in control.
Okay.
Merrick explains that the ritual was designed to give control over the beast within, so to speak, but not necessarily conquer it.
Okay.
As in, she's still a werewolf.
How do we get rid of it?
He shrugs and says, I don't know that there's a way."
Okay. So what does that mean?
Well, it means that she controls her wolfy nature. I mean, if she never wanted to turn into a werewolf again, she has that capability.
Okay. Mom, how do you feel about that?
She is also rather exhausted.
Yeah, we all took naps.
We'll actually say that Merrick healed you up a bit.
Okay.
Well, no, he's got sufficient between his lay on hands and cure spells. I think he can get you both back to full.
Okay.
So,
and I've got healing potions too if we need it.
Right, you don't worry about it. She kind of, it's going to take some getting used to. She kind of looks over at you. You were never prepared to lead.
That is an accurate statement.
And our people need a leader.
Another accurate statement.
You see she goes over to her pack. And you see she basically strips off some gear. Like, she's got her clothes on, but she strips off some gear, puts it in the pack, walks it over to you, puts it down, and she says, "As is the ritual of our people, I will return to them with nothing. And so I give these to you."
I accept these as is the ritual of our people.
Merrick kind of looks between the two of you like he doesn't quite understand, but he understands what's happening, but he understands how ritual works, so he doesn't say anything.
Later. I would be honored to escort you back.
I would appreciate it, but also, as is the ritual of my people, since I left alone, I have to return alone. I'll be fine. Yeah. Apparently I'm a werewolf.
Apparently you are.
I will send word once things have settled.
I let her know where the rest of the tribe is. Oh, Mom, this is my boyfriend Merrick. Merrick, this is my mom. She's a werewolf. Can we not make this awkward?
You get the impression that she was about to say something about the fact that he's a dwarf before you mentioned the werewolf thing, and then you see her stop.
You're a werewolf, he's a dwarf. I have a very diverse family.
Nice to meet you, Merrick. He's like, likewise.
Mom, I have to tell you something that's kind of hard.
Go ahead.
The Rock is dead.
I wondered.
He went looking for you. He found me.
That's something, I guess.
I avenged him.
She gets a kind of a savage smile on her face. Good.
I have some really kick-ass dragon boots now.
That's awesome. Excellent. Did you keep the head as a hat?
Yeah, duh.
I've taught you everything I can teach you.
Yeah, everyone was horrified about that.
I never understand lowlanders.
I'm traveling with idiots.
Clearly.
It makes a bitchin' hat, and it really, it's a thing. You really, command the room when you walk in with a dragon head.
It is good to see you. She gives you a hug.
Aw, it's good to see you too, Mom. Maybe someday I'll be ready to settle down and do your job, but right now, you're the best one for it.
Take your time. I'm not looking to go anywhere.
Good, because I hate to have to come after you again. Oh, by the way, Winterhole's totally fucked up right now. I'll kind of give her the thing.
She listens because it's important to you, but it's one of those things where it's like she kind of doesn't care. Her whole life is up here.
Yeah, just letting you know in case you see a bunch of drow running around, just kill them.
Wasn't that a foregone conclusion?
Well, yeah, but now you know why.
Okay, fair enough.
And if you do kill them, let me know so I can let them know.
Okay. You will spend the evening together to get fully rested.
Okay.
And the next morning she will take her leave.
Okay.
You're gonna get some neat shit.
Okay.
We'll discuss that in a minute. You are eventually going to do what? Because this is taken up about 2 months of time, and we've got 6 months to fill.
2 months of time. I'll ask her before she leaves if she knows. Were all of our people shuffled into that mine? Could there be any more wandering about?
See, various have escaped the mines before I did.
I want to see if I can go kind of round up our people.
Okay.
Anybody who's left. Would they try to go to the crappy bear tribe?
Probably not.
Good, because I don't want to go over there.
Okay. So you're going to spend the next 4 months gathering your people?
Yeah.
I think that's fair. And thus, that is what you do. Merrick will help for a while, but eventually he has duties he has to return to.
Eventually, we'll have to have the relationship talk. What does
Eventually-
this look like?
Eventually, you'll have to have the relationship talk.
And it's going to be massively awkward.
It is. He manages to avoid it for the month or so that he goes around with you finding your people.
Listen, I'm not asking for a ring, dude. Believe me, I got shit to do.
All right, be ready to write shit down.
Okay, hold on. Let me get to where I am going. I shall put it in notes.
So for killing the giant fucking wolf,
Yeah,
and you can put it in notes for right now and then disperse it as you see fit.
that's what I'll do.
19,000 gold,
Damn!
1,700 platinum,
Damn.
6 art objects, each worth 250 gold.
Okay.
A spell scroll of fire shield.
Nice. Okay.
A decanter of endless water.
Yeah.
A bag of holding.
Hey.
That's from your mom.
Thanks, Mom.
And a
And
belt of storm giant strength.
cool. That is pretty bitchin'.
You will also get her vicious great axe.
Well, that sounds fun too.
The falchion is still better, but it's a cool weapon.
Yeah. Well, if I want to take one out for a ride, I do want I need something to up my armor class because my armor class sucks. So I do want dragonhide armor.
We shall see.
Because my armor class is only 14.
Yeah, but you only take half damage on attack rolls.
That's true. You are correct.
So, honestly, that's kind of the barbarian's job. Like, they're a tank, but they're a tank not because they can't be hit, but because they can be hit and it doesn't hurt as much.
Yeah, they just soak it down.
Right. So, and that, while it was somewhat brief, was eventful.
Yes. Right.
Is how you saved your mom.
Yay! I saved my mom.
So,
Mended fences. Nobody's mad anymore.
Nobody's mad anymore.
And I can go back to Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes. Well,
that's all that matters.
Thank you, everybody, for paying attention and watching. I very much appreciate it. There will be several more of these released. I honestly have no idea what order they're going to be released in. So this might be the last one. This might be the first one. I don't know yet. So, thank you all for joining us, and we will see you on the April 10th.
Yep.
At 1 p.m. will be our next full session game. So,
Yay.
we will see you then. Take care.